Hi, my name is Siobhan, and if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. I am doing a sort of a challenge. I have a really difficult time figuring out what I want to do with my makeup every day. I look at my makeup and I want to do everything all at once. So there are 65 different looks. I am jumping back in. There was a little bit of a break for Halloween and to do some swatches, but I'm jumping back in on day 19, which is a cool toned look. I've done my foundation, my base, my eyebrows. Everything's going to be listed down in the description box if you want to know what I used. And my eyebrows. I just spent probably close to an hour working on my eyebrows because I have become obsessed with trying to make my eyebrows even. And they're okay. They're still not as good as I would like them. I made them longer than I've ever made them before, which also, like, I like how it looks, but it's still a little strange to look at. What I used was the Shape and Shade Brow Tint from MAC, and then the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. This I've had for a while, and I didn't really like it when I used it before, and this time I really enjoyed it. So it has just a really teeny tiny tip on it. So I don't want to, like so many products, if I take it out, I don't, oh no, it does go back in. That's been an issue with a lot of stuff, is if it comes out and then on the other end it just has a spoolie. The MAC has like this little ink pen at one side, and then on the other side this has brow powder, which is just down in here. So it's, the MAC pen is something that I thought I was really gonna love, and I keep trying to love it, and I just don't know that it's for me. And it seems like a lot of work without a lot of payoff. It is what I used to get the ends done, and I did like that. So I'm just going to keep using it. This was my third or fourth time using it. For my face, also, just real quick, my camera setup has changed yet again. I put up the curtain behind me, which I'm hoping is going to help a little bit with white balance. I also got this really cute shirt recently that is little pink and peach llamas. I just wanted to share, but I'm going to be using the NYX Steam palette. So it was part of their Machinist series. I got Steam and Ignite while they were on sale at Ulta. I think that the original price when these came out was $25-ish, which is really high for a NYX palette. It does have 12 shades in it, and it's a pretty palette, and it's nice that they are coming out with something that is cool toned, and I really liked the concept. I just thought the price was a little unreasonable. But for half price, it was a great deal. I actually got them half price and then buy one, get one half off. So I got one of them for $7 and one of them for like $12.50 or something like that. So I'm going to be using that Tartist in Rave and Inglot. This is number 82. There's not a great base color. I guess we're gonna put white down as our base, which fortunately I'm super fair. My camera is close enough now that I can, so I just went ahead and zoomed in so you can see what I'm doing. I don't know how I feel about there only being a white. I mean, I guess if you were deeper, actually there are probably some tones in here that would, or some colors in here that would work better for transition shades. I am fair enough that white is not a big deal, but if I was a little less fair, it would be a problem getting a transition shade in here. And the white isn't really showing up at all. So we're just going to go ahead and forget that idea and move on. I am going to go ahead and use, they don't have names. Oh, there are numbers on the back. Apparently shade 2 is a pressed pigment. So that's the purple, which probably means it has something in it that is not considered eye safe. Use this cool toned pink. So my new camera setup makes it, this brush is not going to work for that, makes it difficult for me to be able to look in a mirror and also be on camera. So right now I am using the viewfinder on the camera as my mirror, and we're gonna see how that goes since I don't have contact lenses in and it makes it hard to see. I appreciate all of the willingness to hang out with me while I'm going through my trial and error and figuring all of this stuff out. So far, I'm not super impressed with these eyeshadows. They're just not they're not giving off a lot of pigment, but they're also fairly light shades. This is just like the mauvey pink color, because again, I'm just trying to build up a little bit of a transition up here. But I did expect it to have a little more pigment. Like, I can't really see it any better here in the mirror than I can see it in the viewfinder. So let's go a shade darker and see if that helps. Okay, that one's a little bit better. This is shade 12. So I went to the therapist today, and I don't know, I wasn't feeling that well when I got up. And then when I got there, I don't know, we just kind of talked about just random things today. I am really drained. I went out and was social this weekend, and it's the first time that I have gone and been around people since probably in close to 2 months. So it might have even been longer than 2 months. But just interacting with people is still a little difficult for me. And I am naturally an introvert. So when I have spent time around people, like I want so much to spend time with people. But then when I've spent time with people afterwards, I just feel very drained. So I went out with one of my friends and her daughter, and we just went out makeup shopping. We went and found some makeup for her, and she needed foundation. We got the new Makeup Revolution foundation for her. I really like that foundation. I have it sitting here. It is the Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. So I tried their concealer. I did not like their concealer. I found it to just look kind of cakey on me. But this I've really enjoyed. And she and I have different skin types. Like, her skin is a little bit drier, a little more textured than mine. And it worked really well for her as well. So I'm a fan, especially with the shade range is amazing. If you go into, like, Ulta does not have all of the shades in store. They actually have half shades, and half shades you do have to get online. So if you go in store and you find that there's, like, that you're in between two shades, look online and see if there's a half shade, and then maybe consider ordering that. I am just going to go into shade 8 and deepen up this corner. This is just sort of a cool taupey color. So I did that on Friday, And then on Sunday, I went and met somebody in person who I had actually met through one of the beauty channels that I watch called Beauty News. And Beauty News, I've talked about them before, and there was a skincare video that I was talking about recently. That was through Beauty News. I really like their content, and I like the way that they present their content. If you're interested in makeup, I strongly recommend checking them out. I am not entirely sure how I want to go about this. I'm going to go into the purple that is listed as a pressed pigment and see if any will pick up on this brush, because it's not wanting to. And go into the outer corner. So we're both sponsors for their channel, and oh, this shade is actually very pretty. We're both sponsors for their channel, and once a month they have a chat, like a live chat for sponsors, and they are in Australia. So we were both in there, and she said something about Ohio, like people were talking about what time it was, because it was like 10 o'clock here and it was morning there. And I asked her where she was at in Ohio, and it turns out that we live like 10 minutes away from each other, which is just crazy, because not only do we have to both be interested in makeup, both be subscribed to that channel, both had to be sponsors of that channel, which has only had sponsorship for a short amount of time, like even available, and both happened to be in the chat at that point and paying attention to what other people were saying in the chat. It was just like the chances of us, there are only a couple of hundred people, I think, that were in the chat at that point. And so it was such a slim chance that we were going to be people who lived so close to each other. And it's really cool that we met. And she was awesome. We went out and did some more makeup shopping, and it was a lot of fun. We have a lot in common, and it was nice to get out of the house, and I was able to be pretty open and honest with her about things, and she seems very non-judgmental, which is good, because I'm having something of a difficult time right now, and so I need people that are around me to be understanding of that. And if they're understanding of that and also happen to share my passion for makeup, that's even better. So this is shade 9. So it's this shade here, and I don't know how well you can tell. It's like gray with a like micro purple glitter in it, but it is not showing up very well. I don't need it to be terribly pigmented in this inner corner, but some pigment would be nice. It looks like a dark color in the pan, and I expected it to be lighter than what it looked like in the pan, but not this much lighter. Okay. So I'm going to go back to just a blending brush. Most of these brushes that I'm using are from the BH Cosmetics Royal Affair brush set, which is $25, but it's on sale frequently already at Ulta, and the BH Cosmetics website is always having sales. These have been amazing. For being a palette that looks so cohesive when you look at it, it's sort of difficult to make these colors really work together, partly because of the pigment issue I'm having. I think next time I use this, I will not set my primer and see if it's better over just a regular sticky base. This is shade 4 that I'm putting in the middle here. I do like these colors. They just take a bit to build up. And they do definitely build. When it comes to building color, I also am not the most patient person. I've talked about this before. I like lots of pigment, and I'm okay with only being able to use a tiny bit of product and be super light-handed with it. Okay, I think I'm good with how that is so far. The white, I'm just going to try to swatch it in the back of my hand. See, it just like I know that I'm pale, but it literally just is like almost gone. So the white is definitely not ever going to be my go-to white. If you need a really good white, while I would not necessarily recommend buying a whole palette, if you also want some really good colors with that white, the Suva Beauty Block Party has an amazing white in it, and I think it's called like Milkshake or something. So I'm trying to decide what I want to do on the inner corner. If I want to go with like this sort of bluey color, or there's sort of this like mauve-y pink color that has a little bit of shift. I think I'm just going to go ahead and go with the blue, which is this blue. It's like a silver with a blue shift here. It's number 3. There is some fallout here. I did not notice that initially. So next time I would also absolutely do my eye look before I put on any foundation. I'm just going to take that purple pigment and drag it underneath. So I tried to brush away the fallout that's here, and it didn't work. So if you have fallout and you ever need to get it off, you always want to make sure that you grab and just swipe one direction. If you rub it at all, that's when it's going to do that thing where it sort of spreads and you can't get rid of it. This does mean I'm going to have to put foundation back on there, which is unfortunate, but we'll make it work. Or I could just stay like this and my natural red cheeks. So I fixed my foundation. My foundation was not super excited about being layered, particularly since I had already powdered previously. So it is what it is. This is the first time I'm using this color, and I'm really excited. I bought this knowing that this look was going to be coming. I bought this before I even started the challenge, and so long before I even had this palette, this eyeliner was actually my initial inspiration for a cool toned look. Fiddle. I think it's just such a pretty color. So I'm just using a Sonia Kashuk eyeliner brush. If you've never used these Inglot gel liners, they are very, very creamy. So you just barely touch it. So another downfall with having just redone my foundation is that it hadn't completely set right here. So it's also getting little bits. So there's with and without. I love these eyeliners. I know that I've talked about them a lot. I think that Inglot is a really underhyped brand. And I know that they are sort of more geared towards makeup artists. But they're relatively inexpensive and make great products. And you can get them internationally. I don't know. It just seems weird to me that they don't get more recognition for what they are. If you do use a gel liner, I recommend always keeping a makeup wipe handy. You can try to keep them happy. I recommend just keeping them handy. And then I just wipe it off, because if you have used gel liners, you know that they can make your brushes kind of crusty. If you haven't used them, they can make your brushes kind of crusty. I'm using the Wet n Wild Lash Renegade in the Amethyst, and it's Avenging Amethyst. So this is their purple. And this isn't a Halloween shade. You can get this just at your local drugstore. And I bought it well before their Halloween stuff came out. So I'm hoping that this is just going to stay a permanent shade. It's definitely perfect with the cool tone themes that are coming out, the cool tone trends in makeup. I'm also just really enjoying the cool toned trends that are coming out right now. I am probably more comfortable overall doing warmer looks, but I really enjoy these colors. I just poked myself on the cheek. So also, I probably say this in every video I do, because I am the queen of touching myself with my mascara wand. If you get mascara on you while you are putting your makeup on, let it dry completely, and then you can just sort of flake it off, as opposed to trying to rub it when it is still wet. I was trying to be good and put stuff back where it goes as I'm using it. And then I pretty much just threw my mascara across the room trying to catch it, as I dropped it and didn't make it into the drawer where it goes. This is what I get for trying to be responsible. I cleaned my entire vanity and organized all of my makeup, and so I'm trying to just keep it that way. I'm going to go ahead and zoom back out and do the rest of my face. So I like this eye look. It's pretty. It's a little more subtle than I would normally do, but may very well be way over the top for what lots of other people would do. For highlighter, this is Lorac. This is Limelight. And I think this came out when they were doing the brunch collection. Maybe it'll help hide some of the extra that I still have down there. Used to have a light on this side always, and I actually don't have it on. When I go back, I know that I'm a little more shadowed on that side. When I go back and edit, I'll see how it is. The light that I'm using on that side is a warm toned light, and my other lights are all cool toned. So I'm trying not to need it, just so that I don't have as much to deal with as far as white balance fixes go. So I'm going to use this one. I think it's going to be the best I'm going to find. This is an Ulta Mineral Blush. Third time's a charm. And the shade is Peony. And I don't want to use my highlighter brush. As always, I'm attempting to be light-handed. We know that's not my strong suit. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. And then go in with the Tarte. Real quick before I get into lips, I did want to talk about the packaging a little bit. This is really nice, like plastic packaging, nicer than what you normally see. Does have a really nice mirror in it. It's nice. I don't know that it is $26 nice. So for lips, I'm using the Tarteist lip paint. These lip paints don't set down all the way. They smell really good. They all smell a little bit sort of pepperminty, and they're very comfortable and hydrating on the lips. And this color is Rave. Look how beautiful that went on. And it's so easy. These are really good. They don't make it into my looks as often just because they are, I mean, they are far from transfer proof, and they will wear down as you like eat and drink. So they're not quite as long lasting, but they do still last fairly well. I would say you can probably get a good 6 or 8 hours, even if you've eaten a meal. They wear really well in the middle as they do wear down. And even like the darker colors tend to wear really nicely. So I enjoy them. They're not my all-time favorite liquid lip, but as one that's not transfer proof, I really enjoy it. And it's super comfortable. My biggest issue with it is just that it's not transfer proof, and I prefer transfer proof. So this is my cool tone look. Pretty simple. Didn't want to go in for too much after having a few days off and not having really anything planned specifically to talk about. I will get this edited and posted as soon as possible. I do also have another video that I've been editing, which is the Lime Crime Venus XL. Fantastic palette, by the way. As far as this palette, if you can find it on sale, if you like the shades, I would say yes. If you find it on sale. I don't think that I would recommend that somebody pay the full price for this. I would love if you subscribed. I would like comments. I ask for them a lot. I don't necessarily ask people to subscribe or like my videos, but comments would be really appreciated. I would like to be able to have conversations with people, and through conversations with people, I feel like it will give me more ideas for other videos and ideas of what people like to see and would like to see more of or less of, because this is something I plan on continuing to do, and it means that you'll get to see me go through my different phases. I definitely go in and out of anxiety and depression. I've been really regular with medication. I'm on Prozac, and recently my prescription was increased, and that has helped. I've been to my regular medical doctor and have some other medical things that are being looked at and being worked on. So overall, right now, I'm in a pretty good place. So it does mean there's not quite as much talk about anxiety and depression, but those are things that are going to come up. It's something that I've had my entire life, and it doesn't go away. And I think that there is a lot of misconception that when somebody has anxiety and depression, that when they aren't showing those symptoms or when they're not talking about it, that they're better. And then everyone seems surprised when it comes back. So it doesn't go away. It just has times that aren't so bad. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up for real this time. I thank you for being here. Would love to hear what you have to say down in the comments. So wherever you are, I hope that you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.